church, family of my friend, the late Cyrus Jirongo, leaders present. I've come here to offer my condolences and last respect to a friend. I've known Cyrus for the last 32 years, 33 years to be precise. For those of us who are young student leaders at the advent of multipartyism, and I've got my classmates here who are in the committee, the year 1992, when we were student leaders, could easily be called the Jirongo year. As student leaders, especially radical ones who are opposed to the then government of Daniel Arap Moi, we used to, gossip about each other. This one is pretending to be upright, but he was seen with Jirongo, and you knew what that meant that time. John Nyongesa, kwa mchezo makoha, you know what I mean. But our entry into politics that particular time was shaped by this man who was very much determined. Later, of course, I worked very closely with Jirongo. John Nyongesa used to consult for him, especially trying to manage the communication around his many cases. And much later, I had, and been known to many, a brief stint with the One Kenya Alliance with my sister mother here, and Cyrus, was very much determined before we took different paths and went different ways. We all remember Jirongo for his fortitude, his determination, and most importantly for me, for thinking big. Jirongo was a big thinker. He refused to lower the bar all the time, even when life became complicated and difficult. As Khaniri has said, I used to say about Jirongo didn't want a jam ya pesa. Pesa moja lazima imalizike, ndio ingine ikuje. He was a very good spender on that basis. I want to just finish by saying 3 things. One, I want to support George Khaniri, Senator. We need to have thorough investigation on everything that is questionable. It does not presume guilt on anyone to have thorough investigation. And I offer to buy the torch, Khaniri, in that respect. Because the truth is important, and the truth is not presumption of guilt on anyone. The second thing is, for those of us, especially, let us be each other's brothers' keeper and sisters' keeper. And especially David Morade, those of us from the Uji and Chai Society, let us be each other's brothers and sisters' keeper, because it is important that we look after each other, especially when we are on that journey. And finally, to the Mulembe Nation. If there was one man who loved his community, it was Cyrus Jirongo. Every time, and Philip Kizia would bear me witness because we had those sessions, every time Jirongo got either money or prospect of money, he would call us and tell us, can we start calculating how much we need to put together all the 38 constituencies of the Mulembe Nation? And I've got a message for you and a story about one Cinderella. Cinderella spent all her time being told by her sisters that she's not beautiful. The day she discovered her beauty, life was never the same again. May God rest the soul of Cyrus in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you to my sisters-in-law, our sons, to the bigger family of Cyrus in the business community, in the political sphere, and those of us from Mulembe Nation. I'm here to mourn a legend, to mourn a friend, to mourn a brother. In Cyrus, we did a number of things. I worked for him. We worked together. He worked for me. I'm here as a member of National Assembly because of his mentorship and support. I want to ask all of you that as a people of Lugari, as a people of Kakamega, and as a people of Western region, we are not just mourning a death. We are mourning a history. We are mourning a go-getter who placed us on the map of this country. I want to remind all of us that one day, very young, below 30, I was involved in an issue after 2007 election to reach Silas to go and vote for Marende. He did not despise me as the messenger. He listened to me and he delivered the vote. My brothers, Cyrus, you did everything for the Mulembe nation. We let you down when you needed us. I know in your heart you will find space to forgive us. I want to invite all of you to Lumakanda, to Lugari. We mourn a legend together as we escort him to his final place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Nabii. We recognize Senator Shionga, Mheshimiwa Maraga, Commissioner Khadija, and Mheshimiwa Ndolo. Let me call the following to give their tributes. I know you're my seniors, but mimi ndio niko prefect siku ya leo, kwa hivyo lazima mtanipatie heshima. The first speaker in that category, my brother Eugene Wamalwa, will be followed by Honorable Karua and Mzee wa Kazi, Emeritus AG Senator Wako. This time I'll not give you 1 hour, you have 2 minutes.
Our Mlamua and Christine Kanini and Jirongo's family, fellow mourners, the church, may I bring my condolences to the family, the condolences of my party, the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, to the UDP family that was led by our brother Cyrus Jirongo. We say pole to you for losing a father, for a friend, and a leader. Looking at the array of mourners here, you can tell that we are here to mourn not just a great son of the Mulembe nation, because he was a leader whose influence went beyond Western Kenya. Not just a great son of Kenya, and you can see he had friends from every corner of Kenya. You had Kikuyus, Luos, Kisis, Kambas, everybody from every corner of this country was a friend. And not just in Kenya, we've seen beyond Africa, East Africa actually, from Uganda to Sudan to Libya, and across the world, all the way from China. We are very, very grateful to have all of you here mourning this great son of Africa, the son of Kenya, the son of the Mulembe nation. For me, I knew Cyrus when I was a young man, just going to the university at the time. He was a very close friend of my late brother Mike Wamalwa, and he was also very close to the late Masinde Muliro. Talking about generosity of Cyrus, I saw it firsthand. I was told then that the richest Luya man was a man called Ambwere. But then I was told at that time the richest man was no longer Ambwere. There's a young man who has come, and he's very rich, that he even has a certain note, 500 shilling note named after him. He's called Jirongo. And that he was a political genius and a mobilizer who was helping Moi face a very resurgent opposition. It was a first multi-party election, and this man was called Jirongo. I was very surprised that though he was in KANU and he was Moi's right-hand man, Jirongo still had friends across the political aisle. He would come and speak to my late brother. He would come and speak to Masinde Muliro. He did